Hello, so the object of today's lesson is to solve linear equations with variables on both sides. So our main goal here is to get all of the variables on one side and all of the constant terms or numbers on the other side. So what you want to do first is to move one of the variable terms to the other side. So you can either subtract 8x from both sides or you can subtract 6x from both sides. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to end up with the same answer. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides, and I'm going to cross out the terms that I'm canceling. So I'm canceling these terms because 6x minus 6x is 0, so those terms go away. Now I'm going to calculate everything else. So I have 8x minus 6x is 2x plus 5 is equal to 1. So now we just have a two-step equation. So we have 2x plus 5 equals 1. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. These are going to cancel, and then I end up with 2x equals, so now I have 1 minus 5. 1 minus 5 is not 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. So we got to look at this. So we see that we have more negative 5s than we do positive 1s. So our answer here is going to be negative. And then we subtract 5 minus 1, which is 4. Okay, so the next step is we're going to divide by 2 to undo the multiplication. Those cancel. So our final answer is x equals negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So that is our final answer. Okay, so for this problem, I like to keep my variables on the left-hand side, so I'm going to subtract 3x first. So 3x minus 3x, that cancels, so I'm going to cross that out. 7x minus 3x is 4x. And then we bring down the negative 11. So now we just have a two-step problem. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. We end up with 4x equals negative 16. And then to undo this multiplication, we divide by 4. And those cancel. So negative divided by a positive is a negative. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that is our final answer. Okay, so for this next one, let's move the 4x over. Actually, no, we'll move the 9x. We're going to subtract 9x from both sides. So this is what cancels. So we bring down everything. Ooh. So we have 4x minus 9x. So if we look at positive 4 and negative 9, we have more negatives than we do positives. So we are going to keep that negative sign, and then we're going to subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5x. And then we have negative 7 left over here. Okay, so now we just have a two-step equation. So we're going to first move this 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides. And those cancel. Make sure you bring down that negative sign. A lot of people lose negatives when they do problems like this. Okay, so we have negative 7 and negative 8. So if I were to add negative 7 and negative 8, they're both negative, so our answer is going to stay negative. Negative 7 plus negative 8 is negative 15. Okay, and then our final step, we want to undo the multiplication by dividing by negative 5. And our final answer here is x equals positive 3. Because a positive divided by a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, now the final problem. Okay, so for this problem, we have one extra step. So we have parentheses on the right-hand side of our equation. So we need to do the distributive property in order to get rid of those parentheses. So I'm going to do that first. So we have 5x minus 10, and then I'm going to multiply my 2 by both of those terms inside the parentheses. So I got 2x plus 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, and then my last step, or my next step, is I want to get all of the variables on one side. So I'm going to subtract 2x on this side. And then these are going to cancel. So here I'm left with 3x minus 10 equals 2. Now our next step is we need to move this minus 10 over. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. And then these are going to cancel. So we end up with 3x equals 12. And then we divide by 3. So our final answer is x equals 4. So that is how you solve linear equations with variables on both sides.